could you run through some different roles that people can play in a DAO? And, you just mentioned a lot of them start from dropping NFTs. So you have holders and community members, but what else can you do besides, monitor Discord and buy an NFT to contribute to a DAO? And maybe it could be nice to have an example of, one that you see out in the wild today that people could get involved in an easy way that could get their feet wet.
Yep. So there are a few ways you can become a contributor to a DAO. First is being a customer of whatever future utility the DAO brings to the world. So if the DAO building a decentralized hotel chain or co-working space empire or a community-run soccer club or something like that, you can say, hey, I want to see that club. I want to work in this co-working space. I want to go to this resort network or whatever. And so you buy NFT as a kind of sign of hope, a sign of belief that this thing will work, and then you provide lightweight governance. So you help them shape the roadmap. That's probably, and bring more friends and helping them with network effect. So helping them build enough of early adopter kind of waitlist NFT holders so that the creators will follow on their promises and actually deliver the product that they hope to deliver. That's kind of one thing. It's like being a great early adopter. The second one is you can be a worker. So you can actually work for the DAO. There are core team roles that are not that dissimilar from centralized, where you full-time and traditional role. And then there is kind of part-time-ish I would call those part-time-ish role things like contributor loop. So there is a repeatable action that you can do for the DAO that creates value in a consistent kind of standardized way. So if it's a recruiting DAO, you refer great candidates. If it is an kind of creator economy DAO, you create content or you score or validate, do editorial control or curate someone else's content. If it is a collector DAO, you scout great new art. And if it's an investment DAO, you scout new investment opportunities, you do due diligence, you write deal memos. If it is, what another would be a good example? Educational DAO, you produce courses or you create explainer articles, record tutorials, conduct one-on-one mentorship sessions, and so on. So there is a repeatable, standardized core action that members of that DAO expected to do, and then you do that and you get more tokens or NFTs or some sort of or status-based role-based progression and so on.
Makes sense. And so, whether you're a creator or a worker and a contributor, what about just someone who's more passive in a DAO? Is there a role for that, passive holder? And I'm thinking about with governance, oftentimes a couple of the early DAOs I was in 2021, I was in a DAO after I joined it. I bought an NFT and we had problems voting on things because not enough people would show up to vote. And, now we have some more advanced mechanisms to maybe delegate votes or have, percentage quorums, right? But should someone who doesn't want to be so active be discouraged from joining a DAO?
Well, you described one of the solutions, which is you join and then you delegate your voting power to a delegate who votes on your behalf, and maybe you consider your delegate once a year. So that way you have the control, but you don't need to exercise it daily. I think in the future people will, play a role in the 100+ DAOs per person, and most of them they will be not active on a daily basis, maybe on weekly or monthly, and then a few they would participate more hands-on, very much like chat groups or Discords or YouTube channels. You don't comment on every YouTube channel that you enjoy, but maybe you have a few that you bookmarked or showing up on your left column or whatnot. So there would be a natural kind of pyramid of engagement for people. In terms of the passive participation, there are some barriers still from a legal standpoint, in a way that if you put money in and you expect eventually get more money out than money in, and you're passive, then you're an investor. And that thing is a security. And right now in the United States, it is illegal to publicly sell unregistered securities. And therefore, DAOs either exclude United States or they exclude that type of scenario. So they either sell these private upside-oriented positions to accredited investors through token warrants and things like that, or they exclude the United States. So, or they do a more broad membership through NFTs, where you might have governance rights, but the primary compensation is utility and not the financial return. So essentially, they sell it to you if you become more like a customer of their future, experiences and products, but not financial upside.
You're listening to the Unstoppable Podcast, the go-to place for everyone to learn about the latest innovations in Web3, NFTs, and the decentralized web. Welcome to the metaverse.